Hello everyone, Tim Wilmot here from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for GoldMine 101, our regular series of short GoldMine presentations focusing on different topics of interest to the GoldMine community. And today we're going to cover the options you've got for email marketing from GoldMine. Now, this presentation will be about a quarter of an hour or so in duration, so it's just an overview of these different options, not meant to be an in-depth overview or demonstration of the particular solutions, but we're more than happy after today's short call. If you want to explore any of these in more detail, just give us a call and we can then either send you some extra resources or links to videos, or maybe do a one-to-one little online demo with you so that you can explore them in more detail. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Probably best to type those in as soon as you think of them, rather than wait till the end of the session. Also, at the end of the call, I'll give you a brief update on GoldMine product news and some training courses that we're offering right now. So this call is being recorded. After the presentation, you will receive an email with a link to the recording, which you can share with your colleagues, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started then. As I normally do on our regular sessions, just a very brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. We're a long-standing supplier of GoldMine and CRM solutions. We're one of the top suppliers of GoldMine worldwide. Since 1993, we've implemented well over 3,000 CRM systems, mainly in the UK and Northwest Europe, but also further afield as well. And we offer a total service around GoldMine. Upgrades to GoldMine, integrations, customizations, writing reports, automations, anything to do with GoldMine we can do for you. And we provide a wide range of training services as well at your place, or you can come to us. We're based near Bristol in the UK, or we can do it online training for you if traveling is an issue or the topics warrant that we can actually do it online for you. That's another option. And finally, ongoing support. We've got a friendly, responsive help desk service here, ready to answer all of your calls. So this morning we're going to talk about these three different options for email marketing from GoldMine. And first of all, GoldMine has always had an email send feature, quite unique to a CRM system. GoldMine has this email sending feature, so you can actually create groups, filters in GoldMine of a target list of recipients. You have an email template feature in GoldMine, so you can create a nice looking email, an HTML email as well, a very professional looking email, and you can then send that email to a list, the list that you've created, the filter group you created. However, there are some issues with doing it that way. First of all, when you're sending emails en masse from GoldMine, if you're sending maybe hundreds, perhaps thousands of emails in one go from GoldMine, the danger is that you can be targeted as or registered as a spammer, which will be a great danger for you going forwards in your normal emails to your customers and doing any future mailings. Secondly, a lot of people like to have the results of these campaigns. So the basic feature I've just mentioned to you is just in one way, sending out an email from GoldMine. But you've got no idea what's happened to the responses to that email. Did anybody open it? Did they click on a link in the email and go to your website? And also the difficulty then of tracking bounce backs and unsubscribes. It's very important to keep your mailing list up to date with the personal preferences of your audience. And this is very critical with the pending GDPR regulations coming in. And some of you might have attended our last week's presentation on GDPR. So having said that, going beyond the basic capabilities of GoldMine, there are 3 other options for integrating, for doing more sophisticated mailings and email marketing from GoldMine, yet integrated with GoldMine. So I'll go through this now in order of integration with GoldMine. So first of all, MailChimp. Now, some of you may already be using MailChimp. We do find in the UK and Europe and the US as well that MailChimp is it's probably one of the most popular mailing systems out there. They do have a free account if you've got under 2,000 subscribers, and you can manage with just sending out 12,000 emails per month. You can use their free account, which is quite unique to a lot of the different providers. So all of these solutions I'm going to talk about, they all allow you to create nice looking emails. They will all be sending emails through their servers, not your server. So there's no danger of you being blacklisted as a spammer. And the important thing is that there are different degrees of integration back into GoldMine. So with MailChimp, there is a little add-on that we can sell to you, supply to you. It costs about £120. And this integration between MailChimp and GoldMine. So you still have your subscription with MailChimp. And depending on the number of subscribers you've got, there's a sliding scale of charges that you'll have on a quarterly or annual basis with MailChimp. So depending on the number of subscribers, there's some cost to consider. But with our integration, £120, this allows you to take a group from GoldMine, and most of you, I'm sure, will be familiar with the creation of groups in GoldMine. That is uploaded to a MailChimp subscriber list. And then MailChimp obviously allows you to create a nice looking email. We'll deliver that email very, very securely, monitoring bounce backs, hard bounces, soft bounces as well, and updating the email list appropriately. And then the option to push back into GoldMine against a contact and via groups, standard things like bounce backs and unsubscribes. So you've got some basic ways of keeping your database up to date with the results of those mailings. So that's MailChimp. As I say, a very popular system, probably the most popular system out there, and nice, easy integration with GoldMine with the additional software that we can supply to you for £120. Next on the list, Constant Contact. Another fairly popular email marketing solution, maybe, in my opinion, not as popular, not as common out there as MailChimp, but similar feature list as MailChimp. Now, the integration with Constant Contact and GoldMine is included with GoldMine, and the latest release of GoldMine, which is 2018, so the latest version of GoldMine 2018.1, has some improved integration with Constant Contact. So it's all included. You still have your subscription to consider with Constant Contact. Again, depending on the number of subscribers that you've got. And I will cover very shortly just a pricing overview, a sample of prices of all these different 3 options based on a typical number of subscribers or number of emails you might be sending. So with Constant Contact and the integration with GoldMine, you create your list in GoldMine, again, based on a group. All these systems need you to create a group in GoldMine of the people that you want to send the email to. So you, via the integration with Constant Contact and GoldMine, you create a list from that group in GoldMine that's uploaded automatically to your Constant Contact account. You create your campaign in Constant Contact. You create your nice looking email. Again, there's like MailChimp, there's a vast library of different template styles. You can include your own graphics as well, of course, and the sorts of links that you want to track as well. As part of the campaign process, you can then send out your email, and it all goes through their servers and then monitor the results. And a summary of that campaign is then viewable back in GoldMine on a special campaign screen that you have with GoldMine. And also you'll see details in each contact's history tab of, for example, the emails they've opened, the emails they've clicked, and bounce backs as well. So that's the second option. You've got constant contact, a little bit higher integration, a little bit stronger integration with GoldMine than the MailChimp link. Now, option number 3, if you want really close, tight integration with GoldMine, then please consider IntelliClick. IntelliClick is an email marketing system that was written especially for GoldMine, and Wizard Systems helped in the creation of this solution. And we are the distributors in Europe for this email marketing option. So specific to GoldMine, it's all around GoldMine. Everything happens within GoldMine. Everything that the customer responds to is back in GoldMine. But like the other two solutions, you start off by creating your group in GoldMine, and then you use the online editor IntelliClick to create the professional looking email. You then send out that email to your audience. Like the other solutions, these emails are going through IntelliClick server, so it's optimized for the delivery of these emails and watching out for hard bounces, unsubscribes, and so on, keeping you on the right side of the spam radar. But the key thing is, as I've said, everything that the customer does is logged back in GoldMine, and it can do some quite clever things like tracking forwarded emails, doing other things like helping you with event registrations, literature downloads. Another nice feature is a phone call request. Maybe you have a button on your email asking the customer whether they want to be phoned right now. They click on that, and automatically a phone call pops up on someone's screen. So you can actually, based on any of these responses of that email, you can set up a number of different alert actions back in your GoldMine system. Typically a pop-up phone call on someone's screen, or it could be an email that goes to one or many email addresses. Like the other solutions, you also have dashboards. We also do supply a number of different reports. Some of you may be familiar with the report writer in GoldMine. We supply about 8 extra reports to help you see what's going on with your campaigns and their performance. And most of these options also come with a GoldMine dashboard, so that you can see in a graphical format via a pie chart or a bar graph or a line chart or similar. You can see people that don't have access to IntelliClick or MailChimp or Constant Contact, they can actually see a summary, a nice graphical summary of the performance of all of these different campaigns. So those are the 3 main additional options. I said I was going to mention a little bit about pricing as a summary of just to compare these 3 different options, and bearing in mind that you've got, with all of them, you've got different levels of functionality. They all do the basic stuff, with the template libraries, sending the emails, reporting, and so on. But there may be some subtle differences depending on what you want to do, subtle differences in some of the automations and template design that you may want to consider. But let's look at, let's say you've got 10,000 contacts in your GoldMine database, and let's say that you're sending out 120,000 emails per year, or 10,000 emails per month. So 10,000 contact records, and you're sending 10,000 emails per month. Well, excluding any training or additional reports you might need, Constant Contact is about £720 sterling per annum. MailChimp, a similar price, maybe a little bit cheaper, but around about £720. But remember, you've got the integration with MailChimp that you need to consider the purchase price of £120 that you get from us and a small annual maintenance fee. IntelliClick, because it does a lot more, is priced from £1,000, but you've got to consider the extra things it's going to give you. And the number one thing is the integration with GoldMine. So if you do want a solution that's tightly integrated with GoldMine, then that's the one to go for. So, as I say, this is just an overview of the three options. What we normally do now on our regular sessions is open out our call to any questions that you might have around the topic for today, or indeed any question you have around the GoldMine product. So please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel. First question from Shannon: can I create filters and upload to Constant Contact? You've got to, all of these solutions need groups, so you've got to convert the filter. You've got to create the group from the filter. Very easily done. And for whatever reason, groups is the main way that all these three solutions work with a more efficient way of defining exactly the people that you want to send the email to. Question from Neil: which has the best looking templates? That would be quite difficult to answer, because in my experience, every company has a different view on what looks nice, or you might be in different, everyone's in a different market sector selling to different types of clients, so you'll have different needs there. They've all got very similar template editors, so I'm pretty sure that the result that the customer sees, they wouldn't be able to discern which of the three options they came from. So you don't need to worry too much about the template editing facility. Question from Vince: do these systems have a way of checking what an email looks like on a mobile? Very good question, Vince. Of course, our customers, when we send out an email, we have no idea what device or system they're going to read that email on. And increasingly over time, people are going to be reading their emails on smartphones, iPhones, or similar. Now, I know MailChimp do that. IntelliClick also has an option for doing that. So you create your email and you can click a few buttons just to have it, just to check to see what you have a preview on the screen to see what the email looks like. Constant Contact, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it will do, but I can't verify for sure. But certainly MailChimp and IntelliClick, they do. Next question from Howard: with MailChimp, the number of emails is the total number of emails including the normal day-to-day emails, or is it the number just for the marketing campaign only? It's the total number of emails, Howard, and the total number, their pricing is based on the number of subscribers you've got, and they allocate a monthly send to that. If you go to MailChimp.com and click on a pricing option, you should be able to see that there. So it's nothing to do with your normal day-to-day emails. This is just the marketing campaign only. Next question from Ashley: how long will it take to set up IntelliClick? Does the £1,000 UK pounds cover training too? As regards setting up IntelliClick, because this is an application that is integrated with GoldMine, there's a bit of software that we need to install on your main server. So there is an implementation element to it. It takes 2 to 3 hours or so to get that installed and tested and set you all up there. The training is extra. We do cover, with all of these options, we do recommend some form of training. Because you may not be too familiar with all of the options you've got in GoldMine of creating your target list. It's very useful when you've got your email marketing solution allied, married to your CRM solution. You've got more options for creating target lists. So we do tend to go through in our training a recap on filters, groups, and the SQL query builder. The SQL query builder in GoldMine is a very clever way of building up more advanced search criteria of data in GoldMine and creating that list. We then cover with IntelliClick training the email template editor, so you can go through and create your own emails. We can also help you with if you've got some unsubscribe list in some other application, uploading that into GoldMine, so when you're starting off with IntelliClick, you're not mailing people that have unsubscribed already. We cover the email sending features that you've got with IntelliClick, the delayed sending options. It will also support the sending of emails to additional contacts as well, if you're familiar with that. So it's been written for GoldMine. It just will read and see any data in GoldMine. But the important thing is everything is tracked back in the GoldMine database. So the training is extra. I would recommend, Ashley, that we show the system to you and then we can go through all the different pricing options. With all these solutions, there are different options that you've got, add-on options, and different tariffs based on the volumes of subscribers or sends and so on. So we can cover all that on a private call to you, Ashley. Next question from Jeff. In last week's GDPR webinar, your colleague, it was Peter, said that simply a contact name could be considered as personal details. So a good old BT telephone directory will be subject to GDPR, correct? I'm not sure about the BT telephone directory, if anybody's still using those. But my colleague is correct. Now, we were clear on the webinar that we are not legal experts. We've done a significant amount of research into the legislation that's coming into force in the UK in May. This relates across the EU. If you're selling, if you're holding details about people in your GoldMine database, GDPR relates to you. If you're based in the US and you're selling to Europe, this relates to you. So a telephone directory, maybe not, but you do need to look at the regulations as regards hard copy information. But certainly GoldMine, my colleague was correct. If you've got a name in your database of Fred Blogs, then you need to observe the GDPR regulations to be GDPR compliant. So hopefully that answers your question there. But read up on if you take a look at the link we send out for the GDPR webinar, it did have some links to the government online information out there, which is very good. And it's quite easy to read as well, not too heavy, and that will give you a bit more information. Next question from Antoinette. Does the MailChimp integration tool transfer campaign data into GoldMine, such as clicks and unsubscribes? It won't do clicks, it will do unsubscribes. I'm not sure about clicks, Antoinette, but yeah, certainly unsubscribes and bounce backs. You create a group back in your GoldMine database for those. So it's pretty good integration, but not the same level of detail that you might have with, say, IntelliClick. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions coming through. If any more late questions come through, I will answer those separately via email to you. So I'd just like to bring you up to date now with latest GoldMine product news. We do have an introduction GoldMine training course next week on Wednesday at our Bristol base. If you've got any new starters, great course for those. We've extended the number of one-day GDPR workshops relating to GoldMine. We have more dates on the 29th of March and the 10th of April. So this is a one-day workshop just going through all of the bits and pieces in GoldMine that would be relevant to you as regards making sure your company is compliant with the GDPR regulations. Please contact us for more details on the agenda. We've got a little PDF agenda of exactly what we cover there, and the pricing of that. Latest hotfix 1 to 2018 is out. Again, contact us for details. The only way of getting a GoldMine upgrade is by having a GoldMine maintenance contract. Again, if you are out of maintenance, you're not getting upgrades, you're on an old version, please contact us, because the latest version 2018 had some nice visual enhancements, email center updates, and some constant contact updates as well, and some improvements to the way the GoldMine Web feature works. GoldMine Web is a part of GoldMine now, and it's a bit like a cloud version of GoldMine, allowing you to access your GoldMine live via the web. Okay, so we're at the end. If you've got any ideas for future topics for our regular GoldMine presentation, we normally like to do these on a Tuesday. We couldn't do it this week, so that hence this is why this is on a Friday, but it's normally on a Tuesday. So we may not have one now for a week or two, but if you've got any email suggestions on topics that you think would be of interest to the GoldMine community at large, please email those to me. My name is Tim Wilmot, and the email address is tim@wizard-systems.com. Thanks very much for your time. There's my contact details. Please contact us about anything to do with CRM, GoldMine, add-ons to GoldMine, GoldMine support, GoldMine training, and hopefully catch up with you next time on our GoldMine 101 session. Thanks very much indeed for your time. Bye-bye.